Hi, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Esadana. So today we made plantain puff puff. If you've tested the normal puff puff before, the plantain puff puff is tastier and healthier and sweeter than the regular puff puff. Guys, so the first thing I did was to pour hot water into a cup. I used hot water because of the weather. I poured my sugar and salt and mixed everything together because I want it to dissolve, and the hot water will help my quicken the rising of the flour. So I stir everything and set aside. I had to pour my white flour already saved into a bowl. I poured the already hot water. As you can see, the salt and the sugar already dissolved, so I have to pour the hot water into my I didn't use warm water. I used hot water. So I poured into my flour. I used half teaspoon of yeast. I stir everything together. Like I said earlier, I used hot water because of the weather. You can decide to use cold, you can decide to use warm, but here at the moment the weather is very cold, and I know that if I use cold or normal ordinary water, it will take longer time for the flour to rise. So that's the more reason I used hot water. So hot water already, everything is in the bowl already, so I mix it to this consistency. I would have made it a little bit more watery, but because I'm going to use plantain, that's why it's a bit thicker than it is supposed to be. So after mixing everything, I have to cover it and set aside to rise. I covered it for about 1 hour to 1 hour 45 minutes. Because of the weather, I had to cut my very ripe plantain into shreds. I'm going to mash it very well. I'm going to do this off the camera. After mashing it, as you can see, I didn't use blender because it will require adding some water. So I have to add my fresh pepper, onion because of the flavor. Guys, if you're making puff puff without onion, you don't know what you're actually missing. So my pepper and onion is already into my ripe plantain. I'm going to mix everything thoroughly and set aside. This is about 1 hour 30 minutes. My flour is already risen. As you can see, it has already formed bubbles and it has tripled in size as it's supposed to be. So I'm going to pour in my already mashed ripe plantain, pepper and onion. I'm going to pour it into my batter and mix everything thoroughly. Make sure it is thoroughly and properly mixed together. I'm going to whisk. At this moment, I won't be using my hand, but of course, I'll be needing my hands to mold into my already hot oil because I forgot to film that part. So, but at this moment, my hot oil is already on the fire, enough oil for the frying. So I'm going to mix this thoroughly, mix it so that everything will incorporate. Then I'll proceed to washing my hands. I need to wash my hands so that I'll use my hand to mold the batter into the oil. Already very hot oil that I'm supposed to film before now. So I have to put everything into my oil, mold it into my hot oil, turn it at intervals so that it will avoid getting burnt one side. And guys, my plantain puff puff is ready. You can enjoy with anything of your choice.